right. All right. What game you had on Sunday?
Oh man, I'm going to the Berg, man. The Colts in Pittsburgh this weekend. It's
So
it's a classic, man.
it is a classic. And that
Because of how good the Colts are playing. Like they're the best team in football right now through 8 games. I mean, I don't think it's really even close. I know they had one loss to the Rams, but if the receiver actually scores first and then celebrates, they beat the Rams and they're 8-0 right now. Shane Steichen got that offense cooking right now.
So what people keep talking about, well, they're playing above their, look who they beat. Like everybody's trying to poke holes in
I
them, but
know.
I mean, not for nothing. Jonathan Taylor is incredible. Like he's a great running back. Like I don't think he gets any
Well,
props.
it used to be that if you averaged 4 yards a carry, you were good. If you averaged 5 yards a carry, you probably led the league in rushing. And he's averaging 6 yards a carry. Like he hit an 80-yard home run last week. He's hitting his home runs, but it's everything. The run game is unreal. The quarterback isn't making mistakes. The design of the offense is wild in how now it's not scheming these guys open, but there's a great feel and design and rhythm to this offense. And they don't fool around. I don't care if they're playing a sister of the poor, they're putting up 5 touchdowns. Like nobody has scored more points than they scored 275 points right now in 8 games. I mean, they're approaching 40 points a game.
I mean, and the Steeler defense is not good. I mean, they're
It's
back
awful.
seven. What?
It's not that it's not good. It's awful.
Yeah.
Like Tucker Kraft the other night is catching 3 yard flat routes and turning it into 50-yard gains. They can't tackle and they can't cover. And they haven't gotten to the quarterback with any regularity. They need their best game of the year. Now, this is the way the league works. It's like the NCAA basketball tournament. Like signature wins count. They matter. And so if Pittsburgh can beat Indianapolis this weekend, play their best game, Mike Tomlin walks in the locker room and says, this is what we can do to anybody. Like that. But if they go and get beat for the third time in a row and they're having trouble tackling and all this stuff, they're going to be in a world of hurt because we just saw what the Ravens did last night to the Dolphins. Like they've already said, the Ravens are the favorite to win their division. They're 3-5. They're the favorite to win the division.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It really is. Kansas City, Buffalo. How do you see that one? Kansas City, man, they just don't lose. It's amazing. You then get healthy, and with Rice and Worthy, now Mahomes is back to being the best quarterback in the league.
He is, and I don't think Buffalo can slow the offense down. I mean, Patrick Mahomes for his first time in his life threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter. One went through Kelsey's hands to get picked. Marshawn Lattimore made a great play, but they overcame that like it was nothing. Like Rashid Rice is just a stud. He could play. He could be a starting running back. He's in a wildcat. He's in motion. He's like running a stick knot against Bobby Wagner in the middle of the field for a touchdown. And Andy, he's got these chess pieces, man. He's just working the board. He's Bobby Fischer out there. But look, Buffalo can run the ball. I mean, that's what they are right now. They're a running football team. James Cook's having a great season. Deion Dawkins is going to challenge probably Lane Johnson for Protector of the Year. But if they can run the ball like they did last week, which against Carolina, where it was ridiculous, they ran for 250 yards against a pretty decent defense. I mean, if they can run the ball and keep Mahomes off the field, they can certainly make a game out of it.
I just saw Schefter say that Travis Hunter on injured reserve. Man, that Jaguars became a mess.
Well, I mean, look, Travis Hunter was the third pick in the draft. They gave up a first round pick for him, and they haven't gotten the return on investment. Like they used him as a kind of a gimmicky guy in offense. Defensively, tackling is an issue. Like tackling, NFL running backs versus tackling guys in the Big 12. It's a big difference. There's a physicality to it. And, he's a frail guy. You love him, the person, but it's a different sport.
It's really is, man. It's amazing when you think about it. And then you got when you look at the rest of the division, Sunday night, Minnesota, Seattle, and Washington. Where do we see Washington Jaden's going to play, but they just look a tick off to me.
Well, they're more than a tick off. They've had a lot of injuries on the defensive line, so they've gotten weaker there. And that's where they wanted to get stronger. They were bad against the run last year. Seattle is they're a symphony watching that offense go to work. Like they need James Daniel to be the rookie of the year, James Daniel, where he runs for 900 yards and you try to blitz him and he's beating you on scrambles and his speed of decision making. Like they just haven't been that. And then one of their offseason acquisitions that they thought was going to be so good is Debo, and he hasn't been good. Like he is, he's not a. They're trying to figure out ways to get him the ball, and ball goes through his hands last week, gets intercepted. He hasn't had an impact on the offense the way, say, De'Ami Brown did a year ago when he was. And now McLaurin's out, and so they haven't been healthy, and James, and it starts with the quarterback. This is a tough spot for them to be in.
Yeah, it really is. How long until the Dolphins clean house? That was pretty ugly last night.
The owner didn't look like he was interested in the team last night. Like the owner is sitting back and he's probably thinking about the next skyscraper he's building with his partners, but he looked bored by watching that team. Like you've thrown a spray fade to Devon Achane against Kyle Hamilton on 4th and 2. You need a touchdown. You're going to score a touchdown before the half. You go in there, it's maybe even. Like the throw on 4th and 2 made no sense. The play made no sense.
No sense.
And you're going, what are they doing?
Yeah, they're so bad. They're so poorly coached. They need to go. The quarterback's got to go. The coach got to go. The GM's got to go. Like they just got to clean that whole thing up. Start over.
How many times have they done that since Don Shula left? Like that's all they've done outside of Jimmy Johnson for a year or two, and he realized if he couldn't get Drew Brees, instead he got Dante Culpepper. He knew that he wasn't going to be long for there, and so.
Oh, I'm sorry. All for that because you make a great point, and it makes me wonder: are there not enough great football coaches around? Like college, you got Florida, you got Penn State, you got LSU. You also have like Arkansas, like Virginia Tech, right? You got these big schools, right? All these coaches, NFL, are there just not? And Urban's not coming out, I heard, and Nick's not going to come out, I heard. So like, are there just not enough great coaches?
No, because right now, you want a proven coach. Like Mike Vrabel's a proven coach. Tennessee is going to be, they're basically going to be, pond scum for a long time because of that poor decision right there. So who wants that job and what do you get with that job, especially if that's your general manager? No, there's not enough proven coaches. And so then you're taking a chance on a guy that isn't really proven. Like if you look at, just say Urban Meyer, you watched him, from his early MAC days all the way, like Utah, like all he did was win. So, okay, where's that guy that's climbing, that's just, working his way up? Like, I don't know, it's hard. It's going to get harder and harder because the amount of programs are shrinking, because of NIL and money and all that. So now we're basically a 40-team, football universe in college. It used to be, okay, you went to the MAC, and you went to Bowling Green. You went to Miami of Ohio. Think about all the coaches that come out of those places. And then Dino Babers and all these guys worked their way up. Well, now you don't really have that path anymore. So then who's the proven coach that has done it at a small level? And same thing in the NFL. Like there's not enough. There's going to be a coaching carousel this year in the NFL. And who are you going after? A recycle? You're going to go take a chance on Nick, Sirianni? Like, Nick was the 8th coach on that coaching search. Thank goodness they got him. But there's just not enough. There's never enough good coaches. There's never enough good quarterbacks. There's not enough good owners.